welcome back to Curator's Pick at the Deere Family Homes. We're over at Deere-Wiman House today, and I want to show you two doors that I especially love. They're what I call Dutch doors. That term Dutch door or half door dates back to the colonial period. They were often used in Dutch colonial homes. And so the name just stuck. Sometimes I've seen them called stable doors. That's more in England, early Europe. But I grew up having a Dutch door in my house as a child. It was an interior door, and it was to keep, it was between the laundry room and the family room. And it was mainly to keep the dog out in the laundry room part of the time. And that's kind of what Dutch doors are used for, or were used for, is to keep animals out and children in. But I'm not sure why the Deeres added them to their home off of the dining room and breakfast room. We're going to look at the interior of the two doors, then I'll show you some old pictures and we'll look at the doors from the outside. So here's the first Dutch door I want to show you that's in the breakfast room at the Deere-Wiman House. Charles Deere's home, built in 1872. This door could not have been put in until about 1908 because the breakfast room was converted from a conservatory at that time. So there we've got the top open, and there's the beautiful bottom with the wonderful doorknob and hinge work. Let me see if I can come around and get another angle of this door, and then we'll open up, if it'll let me, the bottom half. Now they had a screen door at some point, so that could have kept the animals and bugs out. So not sure why they put in a Dutch door, but maybe they just wanted it to match the other one. But the other one has a screen door also. So maybe they just like Dutch doors. We're not sure. So let's walk over and see the other Dutch door. It's between the dining room and the living room. So here's the door. Same style of door. Top can open up. Both doors exit out onto a side porch, which is nice. Let's go outside now and see some old pictures and how the doors look from the outside now. Now we've moved up closer to take a look at these Dutch doors. This is the one leading into the breakfast room. We can see the great cut on the woodwork there. Some sun damage, and the top door is open. So now we're on the east side of the Deere-Wiman House, and we can see that porch where the two Dutch doors lead out from. On the left is the breakfast room, where we have the one Dutch door. You can see though that the top of the door is squared off with the windows to the dining room, unlike on the right in the living room where it's arched. Let's look at a couple of old photos. One is probably the earliest photo we have of the house. It looks near completion, so probably 1872. And we can see the steps on the east side there leading up to the one door, which appears not to be a Dutch door, and it's got an arch to it. Then we look at an 1880s photo. We can still see that steps leading up, the door is still an arched doorway. Can't really tell if it's been converted to a Dutch door, but I doubt it. So when did they convert those two doors to Dutch doors? And now we're at the other Dutch door that leads in between the dining room and living room. We can see the wonderful door knocker. This is the only door knocker we have like this on any of the exterior doors. And you can see it's the same cut to the paneling as the other Dutch door that we just saw. So why did they add Dutch doors? We don't really know. For one, I'm glad that they did. But when did they change the framework? Let's look at a couple of more old pictures. First one, taken 1910s, early 1910s. We can see the porch, and we can see that the arch is still there, but I do think it's the Dutch door now. Unlike those two earlier pictures, we can see the large picture window into the dining room. I feel that this was taken after the conservatory became the breakfast room, and the Dutch door was added then. Then here's the probably 1950s, early 60s, and we can see that we've now lost the arch to the door. And that's, I think, happened when the house was stuccoed, and that was mid-1910s. So after that picture we just saw, but you can see the dining room here and the breakfast room on the left, that porch, and the squared off, no longer arched. I'm glad they did leave the arch on the windows in the living room. So I hope you enjoyed looking at our Dutch doors. I'd love to have a Dutch door in my house again, but you don't see them too often today. We'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us.